Why stretched?
Because it's hard to work. It's hard for me to work in one single title. So I work above and beyond usually
Okay.
around how can I make change or at least contribute to a change behind closed doors.
How do you want to do that?
I do that already. That's part of my...
How do you go about it?
I do well, actually.
What's the change you want to do? What do you want to see?
Peace.
Mm.
Doors opens for people in need and giving protection for people who are seeking for that.
Okay. Do you think we can do that? Is it possible?
It's been years. It's very tough because you have millions of people displaced. And that displacement is not going to be solved through humanitarian access. That's not enough. It's already shrinking humanitarian access. So it's about advocating or marketing for alternative pathways or areas where we can support communities to think about.
We should do one thing real quick. I'll get that up closer to your mouth because you have a very, very soft voice. It's very nice. It's very elegant. But don't you think we'll overpopulate cities and countries if we keep opening gates?
Why do you think you were given a chance?
Why? Me?
Yeah.
As a refugee?
Why you came and you took over another person then? Why it's yes for you when you come, after you come, you think no, it will be overcrowded if others come?
No, I'm not. I don't think it'll be.
Well, I didn't like the question then.
Do you think it will though?
It's not, no.
No?
There's a lot of opportunities here. Economy is needed, to build a country. Migration is never going to stop. It never stopped since the Old Testimony. Why it's going to stop now?
What's happening with China now, though? Isn't that what they're suffering from? An overpopulation?
China is a different case. You're talking about the migration in general.
Jesus.
It's another level. I mean, migration is part of the life circle across, so it's not going to stop. Economic migration, financial migrations, the forced migration, the labor mobility migration.
But I think Australia is different in general anyway.
Israeli more conservative about how do they choose and how do they go about it globally. We are very significantly giving contribution to the global migration. We are a big gate. Who told you we are different?
Yeah, but if you think about it, Australia is really huge. How many people do you think we can get until Australia is full? Or will we ever get to that? Because it's a big place.
Look, it's not a grocery to fill the cup and that's it. It's a process on how can you connect the needs with the economy, with how much vacuum we can take. And it's a gradual, it's every year. There is financial responsibility, there is infrastructure happening, and you have 3 levels of governments. So every government talks in a different tone or different music. So the federal government is always going to be interested in migration. Like any other developed country. Without migration, it's like a country without drivers.
So is it true the countries are built on the backs of migrants?
True.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. It's good to say that it's under the migration made a big, huge, beautiful Australia.
But what about the countries that don't have that? That don't have gates open for migration? How do they develop?
Depends on which country you're talking about.
Let's take Iraq, for example.
Sorry?
Let's take Iraq, for example.
Iraq is not a country that accept a lot of migration because of the system. It's not stable, but they have a lot of labor mobility.
But are they developing?
Oh yeah, of course. Have you been to Iraq?
Done in recent years, no.
Okay.
You've been recently?
Yeah. You need to go and see it. I mean, it's good to visit.
How's it looking?
Infrastructure is doing well.
Okay.
I mean, it depends. If you're talking about Kurdistan, is furthermore developed when it comes to traffic jam, or the speed cameras. Baghdad is still under development, so it's still working around it. But in general, the country is moving forward with all this media around, but the country, I am optimistic around it.
How's the people feeling? Because like we can sit here and talk about it, but we're all the way over here. How does the people think?
People smiling. They're more than here.
Mm.
You can see people are more taking life easily because they don't need to plan another 1 year where they're going to travel.
But is that because they've grown accustomed to it?
No, it's a lifestyle there. You don't need to think about tomorrow. Build today, and tomorrow will, if you are alive, you continue. That's what I used to be there, and you and everyone.
Mm.
But when we come to a luxury lifestyle, developed country, then we think above and beyond the problems. So over there, they think about when the electricity will be having no problem there, or the water is always clean, or when they will be moving to a digital platforms, kind of when you do any application or any paperwork. In Australia, we talk about taxation, GST. We talk about how can we have more luxury holidays and where we're going to spend our weekends and different problems. But I think their problems are more essential. For us, it's more about, we are the accessories. Because we live in a very comfort zone environment. We're very lazy here. Yeah.
Why is that?
I think because no one's sleeping. I'm talking about migrants, at least, not across everyone, but no one sleeps without.
You think migrants are very lazy?
No.
Okay.
Let me finish. I don't think there is anyone in need or desperate to have dinner, because everyone have a dinner on a plate.
Here?
Yeah. Because you have a very strong social welfare system. There's a lot of infrastructure. If someone is in trouble, there is a backup system to support them to live in dignity.
Are you saying in general or compared to Iraq?
No, you're comparing now with a developed country. On a side, very settled, never had a war, and with a country that went through too much since all days and never been stopped. I mean, all the problems. So
have we recovered? Have we recovered from?
No, it is one after one. Now, I mean, there is hits one after one, and now Palestine being involved inside Iraq. Iraq is very tension now. Everyone's boiling around what they're gonna do.
I saw that they're trying to help as well.
Look, I'm talking about Iraq.
Yeah.
I don't follow that much Chinese news or China.
Why
I'm not
China?
interested about China or the Asian Pacific. I'm more interested about Middle East.
But I didn't mention China.
What did you mention there?
I said they're trying to help as well.
Trying to help.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, so good.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
They're trying to help, but they don't know how. There's no methodology to help.
How would you help?
Well, it's a process of advocacy. First is ceasefire. Second, open doors for humanitarian aid. 3, then trying to send your teams, medical teams, emergency services to help out. But now, I think Iraq is very, emotionally trying to do something, but it's been blocking stages like entering Syria to Lebanon or going through Jordan to the border. It's not an easy task. It's not. No one can get into the border without getting visa. So
yeah.
So talking big dreams, but you don't have that much in hands to do.
Well, I think it's like you said, we've been through a lot of shit because ever since the Cold War in 80s, I don't think we had a year that the country set aside to work on developing infrastructure, on developing economical situation, on developing mental health of people. No one cares about that.
If you talk about mental health in Iraq, they will laugh at you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. No one cares about it. No one acknowledges something like that.
Because it's not a priority.
Yeah.
Again, you're thinking from an Australian mindset.
But it should be though.
Again, you think about an Australian mindset. Go there and live where they are living every day. When you have Bromido strokes pop up, which takes you 5-10 minutes, Over there, it takes you 1 hour driving. And you don't have any other solutions. You don't have a train. You don't have bus. You don't have metro.
Yeah, but why should you?
So you have to live the 1 hour until you get to Roxburgh Park, or you can walk.
Okay, but here's the thing: you're saying it as if over there it's not a priority because there's other things that are more important, right? Which is true.
Essential
Essential
needs of
things.
life. Talking about like what happened in Baghdad wedding. The day before I was there, and the day after I was in chat with a lot of people inside. And when I start talking about how can we support the survivors who are dead now because of the shock and the aftershock needs, it's not comprehended on the needs of support to mental health. Everyone was talking about still going through the shock. Maybe give it another 3-4 months, and then people start thinking about, oh, I really need support. But the support is probably someone to talk to me, but not to be doctor, because a mental health doctor or psychologist, that means you're crazy. This is the reality. Like, they don't consider.
Yeah, but that's a stigma.
It is something has been brought to us by the maybe movies, and we've grown up with
that. You need a psychologist.
If psychologist means you're crazy. Old movies used to do that.
Probably.
So we've been influenced by the media. So the media is not born today. It's been born tens of years ago.
But that's just silly. The idea of needing support and calling it unnecessary, because everyone suffers, dude. You and I will probably have to fight demons like once every week, twice every week. No one's like prone to it. Just because you don't acknowledge it doesn't mean that it's not there.
Look, when you're talking to someone now, you and I, we're in a very stable room. No one is around us, and no one will be making threat of us. While over there, when I'm talking to a person who lost his wife, 2 daughters, his mom, a family of his cousins, and I talk to him about mental health, I mean, it's not logic.
Yeah, so, it's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, so I think from a perspective of being smart or emotional intelligence technique, you can't talk to a person when they've lost their life. It's about they want to suicide. They wanna die too. They were wishing when I'm talking to them that why I didn't die, why I was outside smoking. I should have been inside with them so I can finish because I'm dead now.
What do they do then? Do they just live with it?
People are resilient and they go with life because there is faith in their life. We are different as a society. Talking about Middle Eastern, the faith in God gave them a hope even when there is no hope. So that faith is a point of difference comparing to many developed countries. When you go there and you see people like in some European countries, why there is suicidal attempts with so many youth, because there is no identity or faith identity. Let me be clear. I've been to refugee camps, and in refugee camps you see people are desperate to resettle. And when you know from you inside you that those people won't be resettled because of their numbers, and there are thousands and thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands. We cross now 100 million, while the resettlement across worldwide is less than 300,000. So how do you convince groups of people when you meet with them that you will be chosen next, or may God will? I mean, it's very tough, but they do believe that God willing, it will happen. It will happen.
Well,
and I get surprised on how much they rely on the power of God, that their life will be changed, even if they've been waiting for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in refugee camps.
Well, what's the issue? Why don't they get resettled? What's the problem?
the competition on the numbers, because not every country takes a lot of refugees. Now we're not talking about migrants, we're talking about forced migration or refugees. So there's limited numbers. And every community thinks that they are priority worldwide. But they are not, because there are other crises happening somewhere else. So how do you convince them that there are people around in different countries having similar crisis or further more deeper crisis than yours?
But they won't get convinced.
They don't get convinced. So if someone talked to me about ISIS, I left or I escaped or I fled Iraq because of ISIS, how do you convince them that your story is already expired? Because now
It's irrelevant.
there's no ISIS.
Hmm.
I mean, but people have already left everything behind for a hope that they will be resettled. And then they see you with the Australian passport, talking to them. So the time that they are seeing you, it's a hope for them that there is someone came from Australia and they are having conversation with that person. Maybe something will happen to them and one day they will have an Australian passport. It's very tough.
Jesus.
Seeing a light within the end of the tunnel. But people have hope. And I learn from that every time I go to refugee camps and talk to people.
Where are these refugee camps at? Like countries like...
Actually, they're not called refugee camps. It's urban refugees. A lot of people think about refugee camps, people living in tents.
Mm.
Let me be clear.
Mm.
Most of my visits are to refugees living in urban cities. They pay rent, they pay bills, they pay for the water, electricity.
It's like how we did it.
Yes.
Yeah. But
except for a particular...
There's a few people that do live in tents and whatnot.
Yeah. They were camps, real camps. You go there and tents, especially in Biqa' in Lebanon. I've seen it, and also in northern of Iraq.
So they still do that.
Oh yeah. It is the emergency response, and then it gets developed to containers.
Is that because they don't have money, don't have any resources, don't have anywhere to go? So they get forced into living in tents? Or how does it work? Like, what would make someone go to a city, urban city, live in, the other person go into a tent?
Well, forced migration is forced migration. You need to survive. And that's why people move without looking behind. Anything comes, they sleep under the bridge. Doesn't matter. Refugees who arrived years and years, over the years to Greece, they used to sleep in roundabouts. Any garden, until they, process their paperwork and then they accept them into particular accommodation. And UNHCR responds to emergencies. I mean, if they see waves of people coming in and they don't have anywhere to stay, I think there is a process to accept people to be in camps if they don't have any other way to go.
Dude, I think it's so bizarre. Because now, when you put it in perspective, can you even talk about it? Can you even talk about something like that if you're not living it? Because...
Yeah, and that's why I talk about I get, to be honest, I'm sometimes reflecting on refugee experience who come to Australia, and I get shocked with our people who are now currently considered former refugees. People in Australia or in general, Canada or America, they forget about their painful past.
Yeah.
And when you call for them for particular support or campaign, they think $5 is too much to help out. First, they don't trust the system, that there is actually a support happening overseas. Two, so...
Why not though?
Well, because of, again, they've seen a lot that these mega organizations, the international NGOs...
Like the big corporates?
Corporates they are, or they pay a lot of money to their salaries or operations and nothing goes to the people pocket. So the system kind of blocking people to respond. And that's why in the recent years there were opportunities that people were supporting directly to the pockets of people, and even UN supported people or donors that this money goes to Syrian only in this camp. Or during Ramadan, there's a lot of funding happens from Dubai and from use it as a zakat or so they did a lot of good campaigns, to be honest. But still, most of the refugees, back to my point, I am disappointed that our community, they don't mind to spend $500 over a meal, 5-6 people in any restaurant in CBD. And when you talk to them about supporting overseas, 1 out of maybe 20 will say, yeah, okay, I'll donate. They don't understand anymore, or they don't want a flashback about the needs. And they kind of revenging. It's kind of revenge, I believe, that what happened to us should happen to others too.
That's stupid.
Yeah, we struggled, others need to struggle too. Or like what you start to say, it will be overcrowded if everyone comes here. So no one has the right to decide that they are, able to receive protection or dignity and others not.
But there's always a room for more. There's always more for everyone.
Yeah, of course.
There's always more resources. We're never going to run out of resources. We're never going to run out of water. We're never going to run out of money.
Yeah, but how do you convert this message to people's minds? Even though I try to be very careful and focused about my social media when I go to camps or visit refugee camps. There is no system to support you as an individual advocate that there is that you can do a big change. I call that people, if you are really want to do a change, go back and revalidate your refugee advocacy. You can't call that I'm speaking on behalf of refugees, but if you don't go there and revalidate your passport as a refugee. And that's part of what I do. If I go to any conference, I try always to visit.
But don't you think it's because people like me and you, we've been here for X amount of years. It disconnects you from what the reality over there is like. And you cannot present yourself with a new reality. So, say you were living there for 15 years, 10 years, 11 years. That's all you knew. And because you want to escape it so bad, you come to this new place and you try to delete all of what you've been through. And now all of this is now your new reality. And so you don't have that emotional connection with that place anymore.
Yeah, so you're talking about the forgotten generation. You believe that you have identity from back home, but you are living in Australia with a new hat. You know that you are burnt community because we are living in two type of lifestyle. We think we are the best because we understand the mindset of the Iraqis or Arabic generally. But at the same time, we cannot accept fully to be Australian. So we are on the fence. So it's about, I've studied it, like it's either you are melting off anything you've taken from home and you become that
new place.
Yeah, accepting anything in Australia, nothing from overseas, and that's wrong. Or you create your own identity where you call yourself that, you're different than anyone else. So you don't accept the Australian culture or the back home culture.
Why can't you accept both?
Well, that's what usually we call it, positive integration, where you've taken good things from home and you've taken good values from Australia.
Yeah, it's not all that bad.
It's not bad.
No.
But not everyone accepts it.
Why not?
Because one of the things I've seen some of our communities, they don't encourage their kids to learn the language, the mother tongue language. Arabic language. Here.
Arabic.
Here.
Okay, yeah.
They think that their kids only need to learn English.
That's stupid.
Whereas their parents speak Arabic, but they don't teach their kids to speak Arabic.
That's such a wasted talent to have.
Well, go and ask Two, you have also, beside that, we have a born generation in Australia from generation one of migration. Those I feel lots of sorry for them, because they're not given, let me be careful about this, they're not given avenues to receive good information about how they need to be good citizens. And there's no mechanism, and there's no institution around them. The only institution probably it's mosque or church, but there's no civil society. Big problem in Australia here, we don't have civil voices or independent voices.
Can you explain deeper?
I'll make people upset if I speak deeper.
You gotta...
Look, people are very passionate about religion, which I understand.
Yeah.
But how much you have maturity that the religion powers is only one side of our life. There is religion power, there is political powers that plays in our life, and there is the independency, the civil society, the voice of humanity that doesn't get activated correctly in our communities, in our multicultural communities. We talk about multicultural communities, but there's that belonging or tagging, or you are there and you are there, and in the middle there's no one walking, either this side or this side. And that's what we talk about sometimes. They start calling it kind of radicalization. So I don't like it. I don't like to have two sides of stories. So if you are standing with the humanity, sorry, this is my expertise, so I'm not talking outside. You need to be standing with humanity, whatever race, color, ethnicity. You can't just be a beacon of hope for your village or your city or your country. Humanity comes first. And that's what I see from the religious leaders or from political representation and from many from our community, because they are influenced by these two. So you can see them double standard. I mean, there is no one way of looking into it. And I keep questioning myself, why?
But it's also, you gotta understand that one way to control people is to divide them. You can't have control over the masses if they're not divided into...
So who's dividing them?
Who's dividing?
Yeah.
Ideas.
Who's bringing those ideas?
People. We bring these ideas.
Yeah,
I bring my idea upon you.
You're taking me back. That I feel sorry for the communities born here from migrant parents. Because no one is advising them.
But even the people overseas, even if you're not born here, you're still going to be divided by an idea. You're still going to have to... Someone's still going to knock on your door and present you with an idea, and you either subscribe to it or not.
We can't bring everyone into one box. I mean, people living overseas, they are not migrants. I'm talking about migration.
Sure.
In Australia.
Sure.
So if you bring worldwide, that topic will change.
But isn't it the same
thing? I'm
thing?
talking about diaspora community in Australia.
Okay. But even those people that are out here, they're still going to get divided.
Yeah. How much? To what?
It depends. It depends on different categories. You can divide people by color, by age, by political ideas, by religion.
Yeah. And that's why I believe one of the solutions is to activate and make people trusting civil society movements, where those civil societies, they're not taking a side.
Even right here, like, most recent thing that divided people right here was a vote, was a voice. Yeah. That was one of the most recent things that happened. And you see people just brawling at each other in the city.
Look, the voice is another topic, because I believe wasn't prepared or marketed in the right way.
No, it's terrible. It was terrible the way they talked about it. It was very vague.
The marketing was bad, I think.
And how would you market it? How would you sell it to people?
I don't want to comment on that.
Really?
Yeah. But I think it was a failure in marketing the campaign. It could have worked, but there were more than one mistake happened. Which, it's okay, Australia will learn. And the political leaders spoke about it. That's whether yes or no, it's not going to divide us. It made people think about yes and no and yes and no and you are yes and you are no and tagging people that. But I was one of the voices that I didn't comment around it. I didn't say yes or no. Because I believe that lots of people didn't know why they are voting.
And that's why the majority of people voted no, though.
Well, yeah, you can't tell people to sign on a blank paper and say yes. It's only yes. Yeah. That's a playing in mind of people. People are not easygoing. People are access to technology. They can read from both sides and see the stories from both sides. And you have a lot of social media.
Yeah.
Half of our opinions comes from media and the internet and
influencers and so on.
Yeah, not only me.
Yeah.
Not only, maybe not me because I read, but others, they follow Facebook, and whatever is written on Facebook, it's like Wikipedia of multicultural communities. That's what Facebook is.
Are you talking about the older generations or in general?
Yeah, older.
Probably they're more influenced by Facebook. Yeah.
Maybe have the maturity from overseas, but not maturity in Australia. And that's another problem because we are separated from the reality that you are in Australia. And go to any multicultural house and check if they have Netflix or if they have Arabic channels.
Probably the Arabic channels.
Or Chinese, you see Chinese channels.
Yeah.
Or if they are Tamil, they Tamil channels.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. How many people follow really attend Q&A or attend Four Corners or other programs on ABC News? No one.
Well, a lot of people, they don't care about it though. They don't care.
It's a problem of not caring. Or then talk to me about the sense of belonging to the ground. How much we're taking as Australia. And that takes me again to the positive integration. It's like a circle.
They've left these countries. I mean, we say I'm one of them. We've left these places, but we've taken all of the baggage that we had over there. We brought it here, bad or good, and we still use it. Doesn't matter. You see people like adopting the same habits. You talk to someone that has a tradition that's been passed down by generations for 50, 60 years. And it could be a terrible tradition, but they still keep it up. And they could be aware that it's a terrible tradition and it doesn't work here, obviously, for obvious reasons, because it's different communities, but they still keep it up. It doesn't matter. And they're aware of it. And they pass it to their children. And their children pass it to their children. And it goes on for 20, 50, 30 years until someone wakes up and goes, hold on, this is screwed up. We're not going to do this anymore. And in some cases, it's very difficult for you to stand up to your parents and go, you're wrong. It's very hard.
That takes me again to how lazy we are to change what we used to have in our luggage. And you asked me, is it the migration community lazy? I think we are a very lazy community. We don't produce anything. We are users of the system.
Lazy in what way?
Tell me how many people are here scientists who came from our community. How many doctors do we have? Comparing, if there are statistics, talk to me about statistics. How much we are producers?
Probably not a lot.
Okay, why?
They don't care about it.
Why do we don't care about it?
Don't care about it because everything is pretty much provided.
Exactly, because we are lazy.
You don't have the need.
Okay, so we are lazy.
Is it lazy or complacent?
I think it's lazy more because whether you study or you don't study, you're still going to live in good life.
Yeah, decent life.
Decent life.
Probably meaningless though.
The word of meaningless is very mature, to be honest. If you talk to people, how meaningful is your life? How many people read books?
Yeah, not a lot of people can answer that. Though.
How many kids are reading books now? How much we are supporting our kids to read books?
Not as much as people using TikTok.
Exactly.
So how do you fix that?
There's a lot of players around who are not doing anything about it. The players are including the power of religion. There is big influence in the power of religion. It's not being activated. They don't know what are the solutions, and they're not giving a door for civil society to help out over the years. That's my experience over the last 18 years.
What can religion do, though? Because they do have a lot of influence. It's not that they don't.
Influence to the...
affect people's minds and change it, yes.
Spiritually?
Sure.
Okay, I'm not talking spiritually.
No, not spiritually, mentally. The people that go to Sunday Mass, they listen to whatever the priest is saying.
To believe in the identity of God, in a way.
But the people that attend Sunday Mass, they're going to listen to the priest every Sunday. And if the priest has something meaningful to say, how much do you think these people are going to walk out of Sunday Mass or Friday prayer thinking, this guy said something that could possibly change my life?
Again, you're taking me to a problematic issue because I'm a son of church. I'm not saying no, but I think there is not much influence.
Well, I agree.
There's not much influence.
I agree.
Because people leave, even people who are attending everyday Mass, that doesn't mean that you are a good citizen. Even if you spend 24 hours at church or mosque.
But there's room to be influenced. There's room. These organizations, whether it was religious, whether it's cultural, they can have influence because when you get people attending to your event, if you may.
You're not taking my points. It doesn't matter the quantity, the quality.
Yeah, but they're coming though, aren't they?
Oh, there is quantity.
Are they only going for spiritual reasons?
Quantity. Tell me there are 1,000 people every Sunday or 1,000 in the mosque. This is a quantity. How much we are contributing to build this country, how much we are going into political channels and influencing the decision makers. We even don't know how to advocate for others. We don't have a mechanism to do that.
How do you go about it?
Well, because we need more. Again, you take me back to the civil society and how much we can influence communities to be more engaged in the real life.
Okay.
The going to schools, Catholic schools or Islamic schools is not the only solution to be a good citizen again.
No.
And again, I've got a problem with the communities that they believe sending their kids to those special schooling
It's probably going
will
to
make
help the kids, yeah.
Kids better.
No.
But how much of our kids over the generation are doing well? Not much. Because you don't need to. Again, you're taking me to we are stuck in a system that if you are a hairdresser, you get money more if you are an employee. And I've said that to one of the kids. I mean, I play soccer and I've said, how long you been here? He said, I was born here. How old are you? 16 years old. Okay. What do you want to do another 5 years? I said, hairdresser. What are you doing now? Hairdresser. Where? In your garage. Okay. He said to me simply, why do you want me to be a better person? I'm already getting 750 every day. Why do I need to think about the future? I'm already settled. Sorry, don't record this. Because
Is it bad?
maybe it's not good for our community to talk about it.
Why? Some people need to hear some shit to wake up.
Yeah, I mean,
You got to be honest.
I'm honest. I've got problem with I'm not problem, but I'm concerned about the community. I'm concerned about how much we will be able to be
I can see it.
ambassadors of change.
Okay.
Because we don't have, sometimes I struggle to see who is with me in this journey. And I struggle. I don't find others. I feel sometimes alone. I don't know who to speak to. Maybe the people who I speak to are less than 3 now. And because they understand what I'm saying. And if I want to talk to the community, it will burn me out. So I feel sometimes I'm excommunicated because I'm on a different platform or on the other side of the river. And I'm trying to rescue my community, my multicultural communities, and I feel powerless sometimes because I'm speaking different dialogue.
Why do you feel like you've got this whole chip on your shoulder to give a message out to everyone? Because at the end of the day, you don't really think that everyone is gonna want to change their life.
I'm not waiting for people to recognize what I'm doing. I'm above and beyond that.
Okay.
Two, I don't need people blessings.
Okay.
Even I don't need people blessing or institutional blessings. I don't need awards or whether it is religious or non-religious or multicultural. At this stage, I think my actions will tell my story. My legacy will tell my story in the future.
Okay.
So if I'm changing you today, I've saved you, or I've at least changed your mind in a way to think about it in the coming months. Whether I change the audience or not, it's a journey. Because they will listen today maybe, and how many out of 100 will be saying, yeah, actually he's talking right.
Well,
And maybe it's not even relevant, or maybe they get bored of it.
But you try though.
Well, yeah.
You try.
So my production is about, work on yourself, be a beacon of change, and things will come in your way.
Is that what you set your life out to be?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not expecting people to, do good things while I am not representing in the right way. So I'm very careful even about my social media. Yes, I do have private groups. I send to them and I share with them stuff, but the public face, I'm very careful. Because I've been through, trying to be a politician, applying for the council, being awarded for a few times. I do attend a lot of events as a speaker, as a guest speaker, as a VIP speaker. So I'm careful about what I'm telling to people, because they consider that I have some weight in the community.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people think that, who the hell is this guy trying to take over? I'm not taking over. I wish people join me in my advocacy and listen.
Well, what do you mean take over?
So once I had a discussion with a particular community leader who it was about, that community leader is an elder person. So talking about 50, 60, 70 now.
Okay.
And it was about, you better join our group. And I said to them, look, it's not about your group, but I represent all the colors. I can't be specifically into that narrow channel of advocacy. So they kind of felt that I'm out of the control when I'm saying that I can represent different colors. They want someone to be one side of picture, and I can't. If I talk to you as I talk to someone from Yemen, or from someone from Palestine, or someone from Syria. Because I believe I'm a Middle East. Yeah. If there's an arena where I can represent Middle East, I will be there. Or at least Iraq.
Yeah.
But don't take me down.
Yeah.
Less. I've done initiatives like Aksan.
Yeah.
The Assyrian Chaldean Syriac Advocacy Network. I was part of the founding members. And I'm proud of it. Because it brought more than one color, and it's a civil initiative movement, I think. Anyway, back to the story. Since then, I did try to talk to that gentleman and his group that you've done your bit over the years. It's time now for the younger generation to take over. It's not about, making an X on you. It's about taking you on our shoulders and we move together, because time for us to advocate. At least, not because we are better than them, but they've done their part. They did the foundation. Now it's about how do you sell it and market it in a way that it's been accepted in 2023. Especially when it comes to the right channel of advocacy, the technique of lobbying, and the level of English probably, the level of expertise in this sector. So there is a specific sector that a priest or an imam or a respected community leader cannot access. Whereas we have a few people in Victoria and Sydney. They are very deeply engaged on a federal level, on a state level, on a private sector level, that they can do better job. So why don't you open doors for them? And that's why you see some of our institutions, same people over the last 20 years, struggling to find new voices. And I question why.
Do you think it's got anything to do with people's minds changing over time constantly?
It's a comfort zone. People think that they are recognized in that area, and they have respect for them. I respect that. But every group have an influence in a way or others. They're all doing well.
Yeah.
Don't take me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about how much we can't be the same community that started in 1980s or 1990s. We should have been by now similar to where the Italian now or the Greek community. And where, if I ask the community, when are we going to be to that level? Another 10 years? Okay, what are the mechanisms that we can be another 10 years to the level of influence that the Greek community are doing?
Yeah, but you also got to understand that, or you probably already know that, when it comes to comparing this community to Greek and Italians, they're fairly new.
I don't think so.
No?
No. We've been here at least 40 years.
The same numbers that came around the last 10 years?
Yeah, we have good community. We have big community already from 2003, before even 2003.
It was probably blown over in the last few years.
Still, but blown over in the last few years. Now, what are the mechanisms? Because it's been blown out, let me go with your way. Because we've been blown out, based on what you're saying, what are the mechanisms that we can be reaching to a long-term goal? Do we have any space we can talk about it?
Is it the mechanism or is it the people?
Well, you don't have a mechanism because you don't have the right people to talk about it.
Talk about or talk to? Talk about or talk to?
Talk about it, then we can talk to.
Okay, but would you want to influence the people that are fairly new to the country in their 30s, or would you want to influence the people who are going to be 30 in 10 years? Which one would you target?
I would be more with the people who are mature, 18 to 25 to 30 to speak to.
So the people who are going
They are the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go to someone who is...
Well, I would love to have an advisory from the elder community, because without them there is a key missing.
Okay.
But it's the problem of the language we speak is different than what they are thinking. My interest is not about having an Easter party or gathering in a garden or public and to dance, folk dance. It's not my interest, or not my priority at least.
What is your priority?
Voicing people out to the highest level. And it's a big failure for what happened now in Baghdad. Do you think the government even blink an eye around it?
No, I don't think they did.
Why? We have big numbers now. How come we didn't get to that level? And if tomorrow there's another crisis in Iraq, are we able to change that?
But it's been happening for too long now.
Well, are we learning from the lessons?
We're not. Is the government doing anything? Have they done anything in the crises before this one?
We couldn't do much. We are actually numbers, quantity, good numbers.
Okay.
But we don't have a quality. In that space, quality of, changing facts on the ground.
Okay. Here's something. For someone that doesn't believe in advocacy, what would you tell him? If someone comes to you and says that all you're doing is just talk, it's not going to do anything.
Look, advocacy is a very, complementary words to lobbying.
Okay.
And lobbying is part of public relations. And public relation, it comes from, how do you build your network? So how much we are able as a community to have, freedom of network across the consortium. We have networks. Among us, everyone knows everyone. But how much people know outside of our comfort zone? How much do we have contacts outside? And are we using these contacts to do an influence point?
Okay, but for someone watching this, okay, say if someone just on their phone scrolling, doing nothing, they get this video pop up, and we're talking about advocacy. How can you sell to them that your voice does have a difference if they believe their whole life that talking does nothing, nor action? If they've been subscribed to the idea that whatever you do, however you do, whatever you want to think about, nothing's going to change, everything's going to stay the same. Because a lot of people like this exist.
Yeah, because you can't have all the community moving one way. Everyone has their own technique to make a change, their own way of making change. So some people believe in sustainability, and they work around sustainability to help. Others through, opening new investments, and they make a change and employing people. So in advocacy, I would be saying to people, if you are interested in advocacy or in the lobbying system, I would encourage them first to have a mentor who can build their confidence or work around their journey to understand what does it need to have advocacy as part of your skills. Advocacy is not something that you can, give in away in a day or two. It's a journey that you can play around and work around it.
Okay.
So I always call for youth. If you see yourself that you are able to speak on behalf of the community, then show me your muscles. Join, volunteer, and be connected to the people who are on the ground doing good work. There's a lot of people doing good work, but most of us are behind the scene. We don't show off. We don't need to. Because,
don't you think if you do, then some people will see it and go, okay, this is something I'm interested in?
Actually, my Facebook, part of my Facebook, it was closed during COVID. I opened it because I want to see what people are talking about during COVID. And then it became a public, space for me where I can make people receive what I want them to receive, not everything I'm doing. So I play on the guitar of what I want exactly for you to hear. If I tell about everything I'm doing, I would need to be posting 2-3 posts a day. And I don't do that. Because I don't want to. Or I don't need to in a way or others.
But you do a lot though, yeah?
Yeah, well...
why don't you post about other things? What stops you? What makes you want to show something and not show the other thing?
Because the audience are different on every platform. So
Okay.
I share things on Twitter. I don't share it on Facebook. Because the audience on Twitter is different.
So is it the reaction that holds you back?
The quality of people, with all my respect, that we have a lot of grassroots only on Facebook. And then you have a lot of youth, TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat. And then you have the professional community members who are on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And you've got the political views and all the rest are on Twitter. But tell me how many people from our community are on Twitter, actively on Twitter.
Not as much as Facebook or Instagram.
And why? That's why we need to advocate. We need to have doors, and I'm calling for everyone. Religious leaders, community leaders who may be hearing our story today, our episode. I'm calling on them. Open doors for people to learn about things outside of your interest, especially when it comes to negotiation, public relations, international aid. Speak about recycling, talk about civil side things. We don't need always to talk about my agenda.
Don't you think they could be scared to talk about these things?
Why?
Because it's out of their comfort zone.
Open door for others to work in collaboration with you. But first, you have a lot of groups. Let me call it, let's say, the religious powers from all the sides. You have a lot of groups and networking and events happening on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
How much you are able to talk about stuff that are more social, economical, educational, employment focus, low focus. It may happen here and there, but there is no a proper long-term strategy and agenda around it.
Okay.
It comes as a chaos. Yeah, you are available, come. No, I'm not. I should be with a humble voice. We are expertise and we are recognized on a national and international level. At least we should be recognized with a respected way that there is a relationship as a partner to partner.
Yeah.
Because we are a stakeholder. I'm considering myself as a stakeholder. I have expertise in my area.
Yeah.
I can't just be, for sake of me talking to a particular group, I need to volunteer. No. I'm not an entry level.
I get it. Yeah.
And you know that very well. I mean, how much we've been talking about it before.
Yeah.
Even this podcast. I mean, even Aksan and others.
Yeah. Dude. But I think those people still need to kind of humble themselves in a way to accept. And I mean the people that don't want to open doors to these new ideas, they need to be able to accept that they don't know everything and that they don't do that. They're happy and content that they know what they know and they affect who they affect, and that's it. And that's just not right.
Right.
You gotta broaden your horizon. You gotta broaden your target audience. You gotta broaden your message. Just because you're of a certain group doesn't mean you gotta corner yourself into that, and that's what you try to do.
Yeah, well, look, one of the things I've done as an action, if you don't create leadership around you, then you're not a leader. Simple. Just don't call yourself place leader. If you don't generate groups of leadership around you, if you don't give self-confidence to the persons talking to you, then you are not making change. So having any foundation or institution or group or social group, how much you are actually, adding value to the people's life. It's called capacity building. Are we really making capacity building for people? It's a question to the community, because at the end of the day, we try to influence, but we don't have first powers to occupy other groups, because this is independent. Two, we don't have that much of space and time to keep talking and asking and requesting. When you receive a letter to attend a conference in Canberra, just because you are well known on LinkedIn, that makes you proud of yourself. But in the same time, when you see that your own community, they have a lot of needs, but you don't have a way in to influence, you kind of feel, how much I'm optimistic about my community.
But you are, aren't you?
I am, in a way, because I always believe in hope.
Why do you believe in hope?
Because I think youth are able to make change. They can say no to their parents if they don't believe in something. Yeah, that's what he said to me.
Yeah.
True. Because there is a shift of power. The parents are not anymore the head of the family. There's equality here happening, because you speak better than your parents in English.
Okay.
So
is that why I think it is?
Yeah, of course. You have independent account, bank account.
So you think that hierarchy would never happen if you were back there?
There is no. If you now go back to Iraq and build a family, there will be one bank account only. One, not multiple.
If you could get one, do they have bank accounts right now?
Yeah, they have. They have ATM machines, and you can do everything there.
That's so wonderful. I'm going back this year.
You have to go back, and then it's good.
Yeah.
So let's finish up with the positive notes. I think it's very important to travel, to learn about the other cultures. I mean, I'm passionate because traveling, it's like a sea of experiences.
Mm.
Learning how to use public transport, talking to locals, eat fresh from the street food. Going back to essential of lives. There's no, lacking of security around you. It's very good, actually. Feeling that you are unsecured.
Over there?
Well, anywhere.
Oh, okay. So you're with the feeling of feeling insecure?
Like driving without a license.
Okay.
Back home, you don't have any more.
So is it like kind of liberating?
Well, I think it's part of, makes me award myself that I'm very lucky to live in Australia.
Mm.
Sometimes we don't feel that we are lucky.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I do validate that I'm lucky to be in Australia. I'm lucky to be chosen out of thousands and thousands of people to settle here.
Not just Australia. Any first world, even like second world developed country, you're fortunate.
Yeah.
We always forget that. And you look at the things that are happening overseas, Afghanistan, in Palestine, in Africa. It's so bizarre, right? And we don't even know how they feel. Like, do you even get to talk about these things if you're not living it? Because you're not in it. And the only thing you see is what the media shows you. And you don't even know if that's true or not. And so we get here and we sit down and we talk about how this policy is wrong, how this policy is right. But we're not even living it. We're not even living it. We're all the way on the other side and we get to see it from a whole different dimension. It's like you're watching a horror show and you're in the cinema, you're in the theater, and then you get to judge and think about what's going on. But it's terrible. And yeah, we got to be thankful about it, dude. It's crazy because what we know right now, what we have in this life, what we're living, what we're even like getting a simple cup of coffee every day, some people don't even have that. They can't. They've never imagined something like that. The fucking people in Africa, they're starving, okay? So it's as simple as 1 meal per day and we get to get 3. We get to get 3. They struggle to get 1. Yeah. And that's all their life. They know no better, right? And so we get caught up in thinking, oh, we get this whole different life right here.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying traveling will give you a lot of
perspective.
Yeah, appreciation.
Mm.
You appreciate what you are having in your hands because you see that there is a lot of needs. Even in Europe, when you travel around Europe, there's a lot of needs.
Yeah.
People are not anymore.
Europe,
yes, of course. How? It's not everyone's happy.
Why not?
People are struggling with. It's been affected what happened in Ukraine and Russia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Economically, people do struggle there more than Australia.
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, everything is expensive. Life is expensive. So, and you see poverty there.
Yeah.
More obvious than here. And you see people who are supposed to be former refugees, they're still refugees because they're not being accepted in the community. And that's why media shows very bad views on what's been happening in Germany or in the harsh rules around France, Italy, Poland, everywhere.
Dude, the media is so evil.
Yeah, so evil. I would really want from people, actually, one of the advice, please do not follow one side of media. Do your search, go around, read, just read, for God's sake. I mean, just read. Don't be very, before you post anything or comment on anything, just be careful. And I used to do that. I was one of the crazy people who used to comment and post things back 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. Now, before I, comment or like anything, I'm very careful why I need to like it. Because that will make people think, oh, this guy is.
But this is what the media does. It plays on your emotion. It plays on your weak side.
Well, actually, I have that maturity. I did tell you that. With Facebook, I post what I want people to know about me.
But isn't that what the media does as well?
No, I'm controlling the media. I'm controlling people's minds about me.
So you're kind of twisting the narrative about yourself?
Exactly.
So that's mainstream media. You're mainstream media yourself?
I am trying to be,
I'm not saying there's anything
No,
wrong
no,
with
no.
it.
Let me put it in this way.
Okay.
When I am posting on media, there is a message and there is a goal behind it.
Okay.
I don't post for sake of posting.
Okay.
Maybe I do it once a week, but maybe story once a week.
You make your own
But
narrative, yeah?
my own narrative is really to make change.
Okay.
So I don't post things for sake of posting.
Okay. Why do you think that... Actually, not what do you think? It's kind of a stupid question, because I was going to ask why do mainstream media twist the narrative, but they do it anyway. Do you think there's any way that you can talk about something like that without following the media? Or do you even talk about it? So take, for example, the thing that's happening in Palestine right now. Do we even get to talk about it? Because we're not there.
We're not there. We're not there, but we are aware about what's been happening.
We're aware.
Oh yes, yeah, of course. It's unacceptable on what's happening. There is kids. Life of people is not that cheap. I mean, and there are thousands and thousands. And imagine the area of Gaza is similar to Maklaham all the way to CBD. That's the city. And there are 2 million people from Maklaham to... That's how much crowded it is. And when you don't have any way to escape for protection, that's a problem. That's a crisis, human rights. I mean, but one of the main rules of human rights is everyone on earth have the right for asylum. Are we able to give them an asylum? No.
Why not?
Because it's a big political game. It's about emptying Gaza to go to Sinai or to Jordan or to Iraq, and then Gaza has been finished.
But is that a solution?
And that's not a solution, but that's maybe a solution for particular 10% of the community, that they want that their kids to be treated in hospital, but there is no hospital, and the only hospitals are outside of the border. And outside of the borders, all the leaders talking about, we don't want to empty Gaza. They should stay there. They shouldn't be moved out.
Fucking bizarre.
And that's how much, don't tell me the community is one color. Again, thousands and thousands of people, women are pregnant, elders are sick, medical, if they are having, heart pressure, they have, problem in their system, they need treatment. So if there's no treatment, that's a problem. People will die more.
It's not even just the treatment.
Injuries. How much there are injuries? Is there any solution for those injuries? So is it the only solution that bringing aid inside? That can't be one side of the story.
So, no.
It needs to be taken out.
I don't think so.
And the world is washing their hands by saying, cease a fire, let people there, we don't want them. Otherwise it will be our problem.
Do you think they will cease fire?
They have to.
They've gone too far though. They've gone for too long now to cease fire.
Unfortunately.
If they would have ceased fire, they would have ceased fire like the first week.
God knows what's happening. I'm not the expert in the area. I pray that kids not to die more, families to not lose their members anymore, people have houses not demolished anymore, because this is
so heavy, dude.
Imagine your life.
Yeah.
Now if you fire on your house, there's an insurance. Over there's no insurance. Yeah. So all you're saving over the 10 years, 20 years, your flat is gone.
Dude, I wish it's just the houses. The other day I saw a video of a father had his sons in, what is it called, nylon bags. He was carrying his kids in bags. They were dead. Yeah. All you can see is just a hand popping out. He's talking about, my kids are dead. Right? It's heavy to watch.
Life is not fair.
It's heavy to watch.
What's happening there is not fair.
But some people say that, well, they don't say. They make the claim that this is war. All is fair in love and war.
Yeah, well, there is also no war. But do we need war? Were we ready for another war? 2023 is giving us a lot of shit. We are not ready for another war. Especially Palestine and Gaza and the whole thing there. It's not the time. because already the community have just recovered from COVID. 2 years after COVID, people were just trying to travel and move on in their life. And this hit them so hard, so hard. At the end of the day, not everyone inside Palestine is Hamas.
No.
And you can't keep killing everyone because there is a Hamas soldier behind every family. You can't. I mean, these are souls. Those are people at the end. They're not animals. I'm sorry. You can't call them animals.
Did you see the article that broke about Hamas's leader's son after he?
I don't follow that much, to be honest.
So it's a guy called Mus'ab Yusuf. See if you can find it. He's in. I don't know what's a word for it. He escaped the thing, but he was talking about how Hamas doesn't really care about the Palestinian people, and they're using them as human shields in a way, and so they don't really represent Palestinians. But the whole thing is just so wired up, so tangled, because on one hand you got people who are pretending to care about the Palestinian state, but they also have their own motives in their heart, because he talks about how they don't just want to free Palestine. They want to set up an Islamic state in Palestine, and they want to make it extreme. And that's what Israel has an issue with. That's what they don't want.
I don't want to go through this channel, to be honest, because I'm not interested about the agenda of each party. I am interested about human lives.
But they don't care.
Well,
for them, it's all agenda.
And as a humanitarian, I'm a person who works in the humanitarian aid and support.
I know.
I want people to stay alive, not to be killed. Cease of the fire is the only solution currently. Immediately need to happen.
Is the UN doing anything about it?
Well, there are movements happening, definitely, from first seconds.
Can they do anything?
Like I follow UN. I follow the ICRC, Red Cross.
Yeah.
These are the media channels I follow and read about. I don't follow other news, because other news will not telling you what's exactly happening.
No, does the UN does as well?
UN talks about,
Are they neutral?
Neutral. Neutral.
But can they intervene?
They talk about the both sides, that they are mistaken. I mean, you've got here people killed, you've got here hostages, you've got here kids dying. Half of Gaza is full of kids. So it's kids dying at the end of the day.
Yes, the innocent people are dying on both sides.
Yeah. So innocent people from both sides, as I said. I mean, even if the villages they were in, those are not the government. Those are normal people. You can call them occupiers, you can call them anything else, but they are people living in these villages or cities which is close to Gaza. That doesn't mean they are terrorists.
No. But I saw people calling for UN to help. What can they do?
It's political solution. UN is only a facilitator. So it's like a classroom, and there is UN, and all the political leaders are there. It's a political game. You can't rely on one side. It's about agreeing on particular things. It's a big plan for a bigger picture that even we may not understand on why this is all happening. Yesterday they bombarded. There is an attack on Aleppo airport. So Damascus airport, Aleppo airport. What the hell? I mean, next. I mean, there's problems in Lebanon. There's a lot of tension in Jordan. Iraq is boiling. Turkey is boiling. So
the whole world's boiling.
I'm not feeling optimistic around the whole thing. We will never going to be back to what we used to. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm really concerned about the multicultural civil life that used to happen before.
If you look at it from 2020 till now, don't you see some kind of an uprising scale of us just heading into world war? Ever since 2020.
There's no world war.
No?
No, I
Why
don't
not?
think so. Just we are too complicated. We never been looking to solutions. We're not ready for solutions. I mean, our countries are used for a lot of corruption, and they're accepting the corruption. It's part of the life now. So how much you can
Government corruption?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, and
Our
that
country's
corruption
even over there,
and that corruption makes you. There's alliance. There is ethnic support. There is that sectarian movement happening.
Dude, it's like
They
you
don't
said,
talk
yeah.
about it, but it's there.
That's like you said, it's a lot of hidden agenda.
Attention.
Yeah, we don't even touch the surface of it.
I don't think my interview will help out talking about it.
No, I think anyone could talk about it.
Yeah,
It's out of our reach. It's out of our comprehension. It's a lot of things happening behind the doors, behind closed doors that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
Right. Politics is a dirty game.
I know.
But you wanted to get into politics?
I tried to be as an independent politician, but I wasn't successful. The first round. And second round, I'm still thinking whether I will be heading into the local elections, local city council elections or not. It's on the table, but I will need to consider it or not consider it next year. Depends on how busy I am.
What makes you want to consider it?
I mean, voicing people out. I mean, continuing to have that voice of the communities.
Is that what attracts you to it?
Because I believe some of the council, some of the people who are inside the council, they don't deserve to be inside.
Sure.
They're just there because they have a surname that's comfortable to the ears of the voters. I don't want to say more. But as a quality, I've tested on the ground. They have no influence. They don't even know what they are talking about in so many topics.
But that's a lot of government houses. That's a lot of parliaments. You see it all over the place, especially in like Western countries. It's always a fucking mess. Like, have you seen what happened in Canada?
Yeah,
2
but
or 3 weeks ago?
let me talk to you about it. Being in politics means that I will be losing a lot of things of my freedom of speech.
Really?
So I'll need to be very careful about being politician or not being politician. And I need to study that very carefully before I put my name again. Because if you are going to be in a political arena, that means you don't have advocacy anymore.
Okay.
You talk about lobbying more. The advocacy is the independency that I enjoy, which I will need to see whether it's going to help me as a career or not.
Well, why would you lose your freedom of speech? Why can't we have politicians saying whatever they think?
Well, being a politician, you will be not anymore much welcomed in the non-for-profit sector, let's say.
In the?
Non-for-profit sector.
Okay. Why not?
Because, you are a government representative. You are part of this government. Local government, state government, federal government.
So is it just the role or what?
No, that's it. This is a sector you've taken as a career. So you can be maybe, to a percentage, but when you are in a government, your tone is different. The way you speak, the media attention around you is different. So you might be burnt out by one scandal or one post. So it's only being careful. That's it. I need to plan my journey, and I always very careful about my choices. I don't mind talking about politics, but it is frustrating me when I talk about international and national
Politics.
things, because I'm sick of their games.
Is it just like overwhelming?
It's corrupted.
It is corrupted. Everything is corrupted. though.
Yeah, so it doesn't give me energy to talk. Yeah,
It's a drainer.
It's
It is a
drainer.
drainer.
It's make me nervous. I feel powerless when I talk about politics, and that's one of the reasons that I enjoy working with them, but not to be part of them. And that's what makes me to think again: do I need to be really? I need to be inside the council because I know everyone, or do I need to be in the state government because most of them I can chat anytime I want?
Okay. What gives you energy though?
A lot of things.
Like what?
Gardening.
Gardening?
Yeah.
Like just doing the lawn?
Doing alone, it makes me happy. Yeah.
What?
Honestly. I mean,
How?
I have grass at the front and backyard. I like the smell of it.
Okay, the smell after it's chopped, yeah?
After it's been chopped, yes.
Okay, I can see that, but like before, just the whole
Before
hassle.
I feel that, because I've got a lot of my partner and I, we've done a lot of veggie patches.
Okay.
So we enjoy harvesting from the garden and eat organic food. So the garden need to be always tidy.
Yeah.
It's where I can breathe. And I feel sorry for people who lives in the flats usually.
Yeah.
Because they don't have garden.
But they can...
And I feel sorry more for people who have garden but they have fake grass.
Okay. The
I really get sick of it. I mean, and that's another. I feel it is a piece of education. We need to go back and to people and tell them our grassroots was, working in farms and having gardens at the back where you can harvest things. Like olive tree. Why don't we have olive tree in our houses? I mean,
we used to have an olive tree in our house. Everyone used to have an olive tree in their house.
Where is it now? Why we don't inherit that culture in our, like you said, we bring this with us to Australia and build it.
So you see in every Iraqi household an olive tree?
Why not?
I see.
I mean, a lot of plants, not even olive tree, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I see it.
It's important because even kids learn a lot when they have a commitment, looking after the garden and cleaning the car, fixing things at home, or making a game from toys that you have at home. I enjoy playing with the wood stuff.
The wooden stuff.
Okay, making, let's say, anything from it. I always wish to have my own, where I watch a lot of things. I don't know how do you make things from wood. But I don't have the equipment to do it. One day, maybe.
You have a nice little setup in your garage, though. You have a space for it.
I just moved to my house a year ago. Still need to be a lot of
new
things.
Place?
Yeah, but I'm happy with my garden.
Okay.
I'm happy. I have flowers now. I've got, lettuce, kale.
Dude, I aspire to have a garden like this.
Yeah, come one day and see it.
You're making me feel very optimistic to have a garden like that.
Yeah, I mean...
Because usually it's just like hard work, but then when you think about it like this, okay, it pays off.
We've done it our own hands. I
mean. But agriculture has always been a big part of our identity, if you think about it.
Used to be, not anymore.
Not anymore, no.
Elders, you can see they have gardens, but not the new generation.
No, they don't care about it.
Especially the commercial housing now. It's about building bigger living area and keeping the back door 3 meters with a fake grass, and that's it. I'm really, really concerned about this.
They all look the same. All houses look the same.
Yeah.
They're so boring. There's nothing creative about it. There's nothing unique. Because if you go back there, remember when we used to go buy houses? Because you used to live there, obviously. And the areas that we used to live in back in Iraq, each house looked unique. It looked different. Each house had its own character, if you want, right? But now it's all the same. I don't know about there. But here, at least, they don't have character. They don't have flavor to the houses. They all just look the same. Boring.
Yeah, you don't have it. It's not cozy anymore. Yeah.
Do you think it's a sense of family that got lost along the way, and so it kind of reflects and shows on the outlook?
Look, a lot of our houses, I mean, family, friends, I can see they have gardens, but in general, I don't like to walk around McLaren. Sorry, McLaren people, or New Crickhaven, because fancy houses, but nothing else. I think we should be more. I enjoy walking on the grass without wearing any shoes.
Really?
Of course, connections to earth. We need to. I enjoy when my hands is full of soil.
Dude, this is wild.
Of course, this is where we.
Primal, very primal.
It's very good. It's a good bacteria.
Yeah, I've read something about that. The bacteria in the soil does do something.
Of course.
It kind of like. conditions you?
Playing with worms.
Playing with worms.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
Okay.
it's one of the things that we don't create anything. I attend, my partner and kids always go to all the activities at home, like planting trees. We attend planting trees. We enjoy planting 50 trees when we go together with another 50 people and different, parks. Yeah, I enjoy when I walk around my park and I clean up.
Yeah.
Any plastic bottle, I put it back in the rubbish bin. Because it's my park. It's not only my house. It's my park.
Yeah.
Like, 3 young boys were sitting. They came and in a park next to us 2 to 3 days ago. And while I cleaned everything, they were having Mac's meal. And after 10 minutes, I saw the Mac's packs are thrown next to them and the rubbish bin is behind them.
Jesus.
I just went to them, boys, clean your rubbish. And they kind of were shocked. No one talked to them in this tone. Yeah. Okay. And they called me uncle. I said, you are living in the area? Yeah, we are here, our house. I said, this is your park. You need to look after it. So they removed everything and they, walked. So
were they like you really young?
They were around 16, 17 years old. Maybe they were kind of, no one spoke to them about cleaning up the park. But for me, it is my area. It's my neighborhood.
Yeah. I even think about something. I haven't had an interaction like that in a very long time.
Honestly, I mean, they were shocked because how dare am I to go and tell them, remove your rubbish.
Yeah.
No one tells them that these days.
Yeah.
But it's rubbish bin behind you.
Kind of sense a high voltage shock through your body if you're talked to like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even I know right now that I'm so content and I'm so complacent with these things that if I get someone to tell me what to do, I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing that. Maybe
I was putting myself in trouble. They were 3, I'm 1.
Nah, surely you can do fine. They're only 16. They're not that bad.
What makes me more happy also, I believe, traveling. I did mention that already.
Dude, you need to take me one day with you. Every time I'm talking to Sahara or someone, I'm like, how is Joseph doing? They go, oh, he's overseas. I'm like, okay. It's like every other week.
A part of my work, it's actually heading off more than one time a year.
You enjoy it, yeah.
And also I've got a private consultancy I do also. So it allows me to go and visit groups and talk to them and work with them. So so I have more than one hat I travel with. And of course, every now and then, you need to have a holiday. And I believe holiday overseas is cheaper than holiday in Australia.
Overseas where, though? Because if we're talking cheap, you can go to Bali. It's pretty cheap.
No, actually, you can go to Egypt very cheap.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to Egypt this year.
Yeah.
Where do you think I should go?
Cairo.
Just Cairo?
Everywhere.
Really?
Yep, I love it.
I've got like 2 weeks.
Lebanon is very cheap.
Okay.
Jordan is very cheap.
I'm going to Jordan as well.
I mean, it is amazing. Iraq is cheap.
Iraq?
Yeah.
My mom's kind of worried, but we'll see about that.
Even Italy, I found it very cheap.
Italy?
I'm serious.
Really?
Italy is very cheap.
How is Italy cheap?
Beside the accommodation,
okay.
Food is not expensive at all.
Okay. Is it also pizza and whatnot, or just general food?
Pizza, drinks, anything.
What is cheap though? What are we talking?
Travel. I mean,
average for a meal.
Public transport is cheaper than Australia.
Oh, oh. Our public transport is pretty cheap though.
No.
How is it not?
No, it's expensive.
60 cents.
60 cents. What are you talking about?
For one trip, for one stop.
60 cents.
Yeah, 60 cents. Is it?
Well,
one stop trip.
How long have you been outside of? When
public
did you travel last time?
Yeah. Last time I used public transport, maybe 3 years ago.
Okay, then don't talk about it.
If you want to get from Craigman to the city, it's like $1.50.
From here to the city, $1.50.
That's if you have a concession card.
That's not bad though.
Hold on a second. You're talking about concession card. I'm working. I don't have concession card.
I don't have concession card either.
15 years of my life, I don't have concession card. Okay. So I pay around $10.
$10?
Yes.
Every day?
Return ticket, yes.
Holy shit.
Close to $10 Australian.
From here to city?
Here to city. Fuel is very expensive here. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do much cheaper to live outside.
Yeah, fuel is not getting any cheaper. Fuels just keep going up. Remember the time when we used to have fuel for $1.20?
Yeah, I
That was
remember.
3 years ago.
Also, it makes me interested to walk, and walking is one of my favorite things to do. Walking in CBD, walking
CBD is
around
very
cities, walking it teach you a lot.
Why?
Because you discover all the narrow roads. You start knowing where are the best, coffee, or where is the best muffin here.
The hidden areas.
The hidden areas.
What's your favorite hidden area in the CBD?
There is the...
Let people know the secrets.
There is an ice cream on one of the lanes close to Flinders Street.
Okay.
Very nice ice cream.
Is that a gelato place?
It's one of the gelatos, yes. I don't remember the name, but I know where
is it. In the corner?
No, it's inside off Flinders Street. It's I don't remember the lane. I know where is it, but I don't remember.
It's like in a small little street, yeah?
It's between Swanston and Elizabeth Street.
Is it on the main road or in between the areas?
In between the Swanston and Elizabeth Street, that corridor.
Okay, I'm trying to figure this out because I know an exact similar place in that area.
Yeah.
Do you go up a stair when you want to enter the shop?
Yes.
Yes.
That before the stairs.
Before the stairs, yeah.
There's nice shops there.
Yeah, I know that place.
Yeah, that's good. One of the good ones.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and Fitzroy, walking in Fitzroy is really nice. I love it. Fitzroy is a very special area to walk around. Maybe because I work there. It's close to Richmond. Richmond's very nice.
Northcote is pretty good too. Have you been to Northcote?
Northcote's very nice.
High Street.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of areas people don't walk anymore. They like to drive a car.
Yeah.
Even if I drive a car, I stop somewhere and I walk
away.
all day.
I swear, it's so beautiful. I'll let you know. Have you been to Kapatorka before?
Kapatorka?
Yeah, that's a Turkish kanafa place. Okay, so on High Street, you know High Street in Northcote, yeah? The very long one. You park the car at the start, just before the restaurants and all of that, and you walk. It's an uphill walk. Do you enjoy uphill or downhill?
Yeah, I know where you're talking about, but I haven't been there for a while now.
7:30, 8:30, you go there on a Saturday night, Friday night, Sunday night. It's a very good, relaxing walk. You go up, there's a restaurant, pizza place right next to it. To Kapatorka is very good. The cherry on top is when you finish going up the hill and you start going down, and the city skyline lines up with you going down. No trees, no nothing. It's just the view of the city. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see the whole thing very
I'll
clear.
Surprise you beside that. One of the interesting things I've been doing for the last 4 months, 5 months, karate.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, the whole family is doing karate. Now we are about to graduate to orange belt.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
okay.
Like all the kata, all the movements.
That's how long now?
It's been 4 or 5 months now.
Damn.
So we are going to be stage 6.
The whole family?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. What do you know?
After hours, because it's time to, how do you burn some of the energy? It's by at least 45 minutes heavy work.
Yeah.
So karate is 2 days a week is good.
Is it hard?
No. It's enjoying. I mean, it's that discipline is very important. And if two made mistakes, everyone get punished for 10 push-ups.
Oh, is that extreme?
Oh, it's extreme. Yeah.
Because I've done BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I think it's very different to karate. It's very different because you use a lot of foot. You use a lot of your legs with karate, yes?
Yeah.
So you have to
it's everything.
Yeah. Is it?
It's defense. It's more about defense.
So,
not attack.
Okay.
Karate is about defending yourself, but attack when you are about to be gone under the river. So
I like martial arts. They're very nice. I don't think, is it considered martial art?
Karate is karate. Yeah.
It's kind of fight and art. It's very nice though.
Yeah.
It makes it very disciplined, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely food. Give me energy. My coffee in the morning.
Your coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Very good coffee. I mean, I do it at home, so
yeah.
We've got that machine.
Dude,
Breville's machine. So
you still in the same office?
No, we moved to another office.
You moved, yeah.
On Big Street.
Okay. Because remember when I first met you? Because like for the people that don't know, you got the ball rolling for this whole show. Remember?
Yeah.
How? Why?
I don't know. I always believe that a podcast is missing
It's not
from
just
our community.
It's not just a podcast. I've had the idea for a very long time, and we were on a Zoom call out of everything. Do you remember that?
No.
We were on a Zoom call, and you messaged me while I was on the Zoom call, and you were like, text me after the call.
Maybe.
That was how we introduced.
Okay.
That's how me and you met. We were on a Zoom call, and it was something they were doing a survey, and they were taking opinions and whatnot. And I was the one that was talking the whole time. A lot of people were very quiet, and you were just there. And I think you saw a microphone in the back of my camera, and he messaged me and was like, "This is my number. Talk to me after the show. I'll talk to you." And then you were like, "Do you want to do a podcast?" And I was like, "Hell yeah! I've had this idea for like 2 years now."
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you that you know, all the barriers were ahead, and at the end you made it. And Aksan were behind you.
Yeah.
You know that I was able to do things, but Aksan took the initiative furthermore. So
Still,
Omar and
Omar and Sam, I still reach out to them. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is one of the achievements that Aksan is proud of.
Yeah, it's very
supporting
good.
an initiative and moving forward.
Yeah, because like I always talk to Omar and Sam about when I have an idea in my mind, and they're very good. They're very brilliant people.
Yeah.
They got really big brains on them, and it's good to have that support, because by yourself it's very hard to do everything. It's very hard if you don't have mentors, if you don't have people backing you, if you don't have people believing in you. You can't do shit. No, you can't. So you need those people to back you sometimes, and even to give you that little push. Because think about all the things that you can do if you have one person believe in you. Just one. That's all you need. One person that tells you, "I really do believe in you," gives you a little push. That's all you need. That's all you need sometimes. And some people don't have that.
Mentoring is one of the important, steps I've done in my life. If I didn't have good, mentors behind me outside of my community, I wouldn't be Joseph Youhana that you see today. So there's a lot of work that happened to. So one of the leadership skills is I learned to unlearn bad things. So it's not only about learning new things, it's, diffusing the learnings that you brought with you.
That's gotta be difficult though.
Very difficult, especially about the curiosity. Sometimes my curiosity at one stage of my life was ambitious. And that curiosity, I had to control it to ensure my ambitions is practically moving forward. Maybe even friends. My close circle friends changed dramatically in the last 15 years.
It's better?
I think it's better connections I have now.
Did you have to drop off some people off your life?
Not dropping, but re-evaluating how close they are. That's it.
That must be very hard though, yeah?
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about give and take. If you always give and you don't take, it is then not a healthy relationship. They can be connections. You always say hello to them. You always look after them. You always respect them. I'm talking about close friends.
Yeah.
If the close friend is not inspiring me, then they're not close anymore. I need to be inspired. Otherwise, my fuel will finish and I won't be able to, turn on my engine.
Isn't there an element of selfishness in this though?
Probably. Every one of us has a level of selfishness. I think it's healthy to have a little bit of selfishness.
How much is a little bit?
I don't know. People will consider that. I don't know. We give always. We never stop giving. We're still volunteering. We're still around. But I think it's giving back to yourself. I need to look after myself to be able to look after others. And part of that is to have an energy around me or ability to let people to inspire me. So if there's no inspirations, I don't think it's healthy anymore.
Okay.
And my language might change another 3-4 years. So it's about always validating my values.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
My mom got me like a set yesterday. It had Thor al-Mujannah, Zakurat Babil.
If you go to Al-Mutanabbi, you will get shocked on how much there is diversity of choices.
I'll probably go out with a couple of bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very risky business for me. If I go Mutanabbi, I'm probably never making it out.
Why?
Because there's a lot of things in Mutanabbi. Like, not make it out in a good way. You know?
Okay.
Like, I'll probably just sleep in that place.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because walking there, crossing the bridge, sitting in the Shahbandar cafe, going to the river, and then crossing by Al-Abbara.
Allah. But I'll probably go. And
then going back by public transport.
By public transport. Kayat Fortat?
No, big buses. Big bus. I mean, it's amazing skill.
Yeah, Allah.
The experience is unacceptable. You know.
والله لفت قص لفت فلافل. I'm hungry, not thinking about it. But I'll save that for December. Not now. You made me very excited.
Yeah.
I'll probably do my goodbye ceremonies. Joseph, it's been a very quick episode, but very informative, very good. We discussed a lot of things. Thank you very much for coming, brother. Thank you guys for listening. As always, thank you, Exxon. Thank you, Spectrum, for providing this space. And thank you guys for listening. Anything you want to say before we shut this thing down?
Guys, look after yourself.
Look after yourself, guys. That's it right here. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, brother. Take care.